Hi, I'm David Geller for Age Muscle, and we are today in Extreme Fitness, and I'm talking with the pro bodybuilder, Masim Butt. How are you, Masim?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you very much. Masim, you was actually competing a couple of weeks ago on Canada, on Toronto Pro. You got second place. Congratulations, well done. That was your first show like a pro?
Yeah, that was my first show.
And when did you get it, the pro card?
I got my pro card in 2011, but I could not compete in 2011.
And what was that show? When did you get a pro card?
I actually wanted to compete in a British Grand Prix in 2011, but I got my pro card on the basis of my Asian victories.
Because that's where you're from, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm from Pakistan originally.
All right, and you won the title right there, and you got
I won Mr. Pakistan and Asian Gold. I also placed fourth back in days in early 90s when I was young.
So how old are you?
I'm 40.
You didn't look like, you're not looking like 40. Come on.
That's what I'm trying.
Great shape. And listen, so when did you start at bodybuilding?
Actually, I started at very young age after high school. But I was a very muscular guy before I started bodybuilding, weightlifting. I was skinny, but I was very muscular.
So we can say you was a natural gifted, isn't it?
I was natural gifted with the muscle bellies, but I was very, very skinny, but muscular skinny. So when I started weight training, I just started growing right away. And I make big change in my body in first 6 months. It's a blessing if you already born with muscle bellies. Otherwise if you don't, then you have to work hard to create that muscle structure before you can really go on to somewhere.
And when was your first show, sorry?
I competed after 6 months when I started weight training in 1987. That was Lahore, Mr. Lahore competition, junior. I competed as a junior and I placed 6th in my first pro show, first city competition. But I was very happy with that because back then in early 90s, those were good times. Everything was cheaper back home. People could afford to eat good food. But now it's just too expensive. But I was very happy. Actually, long lineups, every class, 30, 40 competitors.
I think the bodybuilding right there is very, very popular.
Oh yeah, of course. Now it's just crazy. Everybody wants to be a bodybuilder or at least a weight trainer or look good in clothes, if not a bodybuilder. But it's especially Indian movies and of course Hollywood movies make a big impact on the youth of our country, and they really get into this weight training thing now. It's actually a big business now. Lots of private sector rich people, they are investing in very, very big gyms. You will be surprised to see gyms in Pakistan, very, very luxury.
I would love to go someday.
It's a big business now.
Exactly. And so, what are you doing here? How long you're actually living in Northern Ireland?
I've been in and out in UK. UK is like my second home since I got in here in 2004. I actually met Ian Chambers in a show in Germany. That was my first show after 7 or 8 years of layoff. I met him there and we just hooked up, and he helped me with my diet and training. And just I keep coming back after every 2 years, but I could not afford to compete every year. So that's what I was doing. Whenever I had the luxury to compete after 1 or 2 years, I come here for 3 or 4 weeks, stay with Jim and train here and compete and go back. That's what I was doing. But I actually decided to permanently come back here in 2009, end of 2009, because I was life banned in Pakistan because of some Asian bodybuilding politics. The guy who was Secretary of Asian Bodybuilding Federation, he was selling medals for money. His name is Palchua, and he hated me. He did not want me to compete because I was a poor guy. I could not pay him for my gold, and there was no way he could, not give me gold medal because I would be a clear winner in every class. So he just hate me and he never let me compete. Last time I met him in 2008 and he looked at me and you know what he said? He said, "You not good enough to compete in universe." And I knew from there that, oh, this guy will never let me compete. So I said, I'm wasting my time here. So I just left because the local federation don't have enough balls to stand next to him. And he was just out of control. Thanks to our president, Rafael Santoja, to put him out of his misery and kick him out from IFBB and clean our sports. Now he's history. And lots of people who was not able to come up in high ranking, you will see a lot more nice physiques coming into a pro rank, especially in 212 class from Asia, because most of good bodybuilders from that part of the world are fall below 5'7". So 212 class is more suited for Asian competitors. I think we could do really well in this class.
What I can say was actually pretty tough life last few years with the bodybuilding in Asia. So I think that's the right place for you right now. The people loves you here. Oh, yeah. I think you feel very comfortable. You have a lot of friends here. Everyone knows you.
Actually, the people love me in my country too. I'm not talking about the common people. I'm talking about the people who are in power, who can make decisions. They always, for somehow, they never liked me. And I pay a big price for that. They hit me with the life ban.
I think we shouldn't bother with that kind of people. You know, they always was and they always will be. You know. But tell me, when is your next competition? Are you planning to do anything this year?
Yeah, actually, I'm skipping Olympia. Although I think I qualified for Olympia already, but I'm skipping Olympia. There is no point going into Olympia without winning any pro show. I don't feel it's any dignity in it, competing in Olympia without winning a pro show. I want to compete in Olympia when it really means something.
You'll be ready.
Then I will be 100% ready. This was my first pro show, so I think I need a full year to improve some areas, and I will come back much stronger for the next year Olympia. For now, I'm competing in Sheru Classic in India, New Delhi. That is a big show. And then, of course, there is a hometown show, which I'm looking forward to compete, British Grand Prix. And then there is another show, a new show actually. This is first year they are running this show in Czech Republic. And it's a very big show actually. And
the British Grand Prix, isn't it?
Yeah, British Grand Prix, and then Czech Republic. I don't know the exact name of that competition, but let's call it Czech Republic Grand Prix. But it is a big show actually. This is first year they are running that show, but I'm going for that definitely.
That's great. Mossam, can I ask you something, some other question? What is your body weight in off season and in pre-contest?
Off season, I actually never have off season before. Because I never compete regularly. I compete in a competition and then stay off for a couple of years. I love food, so I put lots of unnecessary weight, always end up 240, 245. And it is hard to come down from that high body fat level. But this time, even I was not competing, but I keep myself under control. I never let myself go too fat. I think if I stay between below 210 pounds, I'm very comfortable. It's very easy for me to get back into the condition because I never care about the weight from the day one. I never care about the weight. I always go for the condition. If mirror telling me that I'm on, I will go for it. I never look at the scale.
And how looks your prep actually? Are you preparing like 10, 12 weeks? Or you stay with the heavyweights? Or are you doing many supersets, giant sets, high intense training? How it looks like?
Okay, we discover a new set of method actually, you would say, of training and diet. We call it KIFs, and it stands for KIFC, stand for Keep It Fucking Simple. And
All right. That's very simple, guys.
no, this is serious because people are complicating too many things. But it's not that complicated at all. But I'm doing same thing with diet and training day in and day out, and I'm getting result. What's so complicated about it? You know, supersets. I don't like the idea of superset. I don't know what are you trying to burn fat with that. You're not gonna burn fat with superset, or you're doing drop set. Okay, I can live with drop set once a while. Force rep. I use lots of force reps. Not a lot, so maybe 15% of my training include force reps. But my simple routine is I stay heavy with compound movements from 6 to 8 reps and give it a plenty of rest between sets. So I will be able to lift more heavy weights in compound movements. Because if you do it too fast, you end up lifting less weight, you know. And I give less rest between my isolation movements, you know, to kick some blood in and get a good pump. So that's a routine with almost every body part. I don't do supersets. I don't do drop sets. I do force reps. I like doing force reps.
So just stay with the basic. That's
Stay with the basics. I would like to use at least 60% of free weight in every exercise.
And what about cardio?
Cardio. Yeah, cardio is the last piece of puzzle. And for my Toronto Pro show, I did 5-week cardio only, and I stopped doing cardio 4 weeks out.
That's something unbelievable.
It is believable. If you do it right, you don't need that much cardio. If you give it plenty of time, I think 80% of your fat loss must come from your diet.
Right.
And then when you get stuck, the problems start when you put everything together. Like if you are 16 weeks out of the show and now you start dieting and all of a sudden you start 1 hour cardio, you're mixing everything. What you gonna do when you get stuck? Because body will react to that sooner or later, and then only choice you will be left with to increase your cardio. So if you control your diet first and let your body go with the flow and see how much fat it's burning, and after I feel like when I start dieting, maybe 10 weeks out, my fat loss seems like slow down, and then I put cardio in for 3 days in the beginning, and then 4 days, and then never more than 5 days, and never more than half hour early in the morning, empty stomach. And I pull back sometime when I see my body is getting used to with this routine. I pull back for a week and then do 3-day cardio again for 1 hour. It helps speed up your metabolism, and it's hard on body because whatever routine you are doing, cardio or weight training, your body will adapt to it sooner or later, and then you need minor changes, and then hit it with change, and then come back to what was you doing again. That's how I do it. That's very simple.
It's very simple, but all of that what you say, I'm sure it was very helpful for all of the people right there. And I'm very, very thankful for that because it's a great tips, and it's a great chance for us and for all the people to get some tips from you, Masum. And we all wish you best of luck, and we keep fingers crossed, and all the best, man.
Yeah, David, you're doing a great job. I heard what you are doing to promote bodybuilding in this area, and you're really doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
Believe me, there are not too many people who are not doing this for money. There are very few people who are just doing it for the love of the sport, and I have high regard for those people. So keep it up.
Thank you very much. And that was David Geller and Masumbat for Irish Muscle TV. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Masum. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.